Prime Minister Modi's two-day visit to Paris is both ceremonial and substantive. Ceremonially, he will be the chief guest at the Bastille Day parade, and that parade will include an impressive contingent, no doubt, from the Indian military. But more substantively, we are expecting a number of defense agreements to be announced, and these could include more Rafale jets and even agreements towards production of submarines, and all certainly with a carefully worked in made in India element.
This is where the French companies, whether it's Naval or Dassault or Safran, would have to really weigh into the credibility of the partners, be it public or private, more so for private. So I think this is where they have been more careful recently, with better partnerships with companies like Mahindra or Tata.
Following on from the Prime Minister's rather productive visit to the US, the French are coming in with some competitive offers, and whatever the technological or financial agreements, there are clear political advantages to doing business deals and defense deals, particularly with the French. They are the only major power that did not hit India with sanctions after India's nuclear tests in '74 and again '98.
And it has been a relatively much more reliable partner for defense relationship with India than probably even US. US has its own compulsions and its own ways of, kind of carrot and stick on defense deals and technology if you do not toe the line. And I think like India, France also has a very good relation with US, but it has its own strategic autonomy, which makes India and France come closer that, well, we can cooperate. And I think this is where France is willing to share technology much more openly with India. And looking at the history of the last 30, 40 years, the deep entrenched level of trust that is there between the two countries is probably unparalleled. So I think that gives a lot of confidence, whoever might be the political head of the country at both the levels, to go ahead and forge greater and deeper defense cooperation.
Of course, it's not an entirely sweet story. Away from some of these critical defense agreements, the level of trade and investment is so low as to be almost dismal.
France is not very high in terms of trade relation with India. It's the fifth largest trading partner in Europe, less than half what India does trade with Germany. So I think all these niceties, having good French food at Louvre Museum, where he would be hosted, was nice. But at the end, it's all about strategic cooperation, but also economic cooperation. And India needs to match up, as well as France, to counter, France and China's trade, which is rising, to have India-France economic trade more deepened. And I think that is something, if it happens, if it is put into motion, I think that would be more than just symbolic, something, actionable for the coming few years as a roadmap.
Meetings between accompanying CEOs through this visit are intended to begin to change that, but there's a long way to go there.